So we are officially in the second government-mandated lockdown, but what does that actually mean for the London property market? Well, stay tuned and check out this video because I'm going to be covering all that you need to know. Hi everyone, I'm Arinzeh with Onyx Property Team in Keller Williams. I'm a London-based property agent and I help my clients, whether it's domestic or international, with all of their real estate needs. On my YouTube channel, I share lots of great information about the London property market and living in this fabulous city. So if it's your first time, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video which I put out weekly. As a property agent that works with both buyers and sellers, it gives me a really unique insight onto what the needs are for both sides. And in today's video, we're going to be covering what the latest government shutdown means to you, whether you're considering buying or selling and already have a property on the market. So the UK government recently announced the second national lockdown in response to the surging numbers in coronavirus. It will take place from the 5th of November and will go on for 4 weeks. Highlights of the lockdown include that bars, restaurants, and non-essential shops will have to close. It also prohibits or limits the meeting of people who are not in the same household, as well as to stay indoors except for specific purposes. The point of the second lockdown is to permit schools, colleges, and universities to stay open and to prevent overwhelming the NHS. One of the major differences between this lockdown and the prior one is that the property industry is allowed to stay open and to continue working. So specifically, it means that we can continue to conduct viewings. All of the services associated with making an offer and conveyancing towards purchase can also continue, and that people can actually make their moves. This is obviously good news for us, as the last lockdown restricted our ability to conduct business for almost 2 months. So for me and my colleagues, it really means business as usual. As promised from the first lockdown, all listings coming on the market with me would have 3D virtual walkthroughs, which we do now have in place. It means that potential buyers or even renters can experience the home virtually, which we highly encourage, and this means that we can reduce the number of tire kickers, as we say, so that only qualified buyers and renters who are coming through the door who are serious. As you can see from these examples of 3D virtual walkthroughs, it really gives you a great sense of the space and gives you the ability to say if that property is not right for you, then you don't waste your time or the vendors or the agents in terms of coming through the door and coming to see that. We wear face masks at all times, and it also means I carry hand sanitizer and make that available for the applicants. We limit the amount of time we spend indoors, and I know I try to point out the features of a room, then step out and let the applicants view it for themselves without us all being in the same space. Also, as I work from home and have all the equipment and resources that I need, it allows me to be fully productive throughout the process, whether the lockdown goes on for a month or even longer. Obviously, even though the market is staying open, we do anticipate that the new lockdown will dampen interest in the market, though we're seeing major discrepancies across different price points and locations throughout the capital. Make sure to check out my recent video on the London property market update, where I talk about which areas specifically are selling and which might be struggling. So ultimately, this latest lockdown raises the question of whether now is a good time to sell. As always, I always respond, it depends. It depends on your unique circumstances and the reasons for you selling. If you're selling to test the market, you likely won't get the results you're looking for, as buyers have become highly price sensitive. If they don't see value, they just won't even bother to call. So if we're not getting the response we want, it's likely because buyers have too much choice and they are going to pursue other listings before they can even bother looking at yours. However, if you are motivated to sell and are willing to price to the market, what I can tell you is that 50% of my business comes from representing buyers, and I can honestly say that buyers are still very active in this market, especially foreign buyers, but also domestic buyers as well. Key here is that they are expecting value, and many are looking for discounts from asking price. But we also recognize that in some areas that's not what's happening, and buyers are happy to pay fair asking price. In one situation, I represent a buyer who we were searching for a family home in Southeast London, and those units were going really at full asking price in a matter of days. Why? Because again, many buyers are looking for certain features. So make sure you check out my latest video on what buyers are actually looking for, so you can find out what those features are and amenities that most buyers are definitely putting at the top of their list. So are you thinking of buying or selling in the next 6 months? Make sure to leave me a comment below and let me know the criteria that's driving your decision. So another key question that's been raised is whether your purchase will actually be able to be completed by the 31st of March, which is when the current stamp duty holiday ends. Currently, the answer is that it's going to be tight. We're seeing current sales take 2 to 4 months to complete as conveyancers, surveyors, banks, and mortgage financiers are getting inundated with activity, as we saw an upshoot in demand once we were let out of the last lockdown. Now also add Christmas into the mix, and we can definitely see where there's going to be delays. So I encourage my buyers who are serious about buying and wanting to take advantage of that stamp duty holiday. It really means we need to get an offer in place in November and make sure to have the right team of surveyors and conveyance solicitors in place so that they can push the deals through. However, some in the industry do predict that the stamp duty holiday may be extended, as the government has made clear that it's doing everything in its power to prop up the property market and keep that industry going. That's not really a surprise given how much the property industry, especially the London property market, contributes to the government's coffers in terms of tax revenues. Industry bodies are already lobbying the government for an extension, and I'm sure this is something that's already being discussed. However, even if an extension is to come, the government will likely hold off on announcing that to continue to encourage people to take advantage of the current moment and creating a sense of urgency. So in summary, if you're a seller, you need to know that it's still a buyer's market, as there are fewer buyers out there and there's a fair amount of stock for them to consider. Again, this is area dependent and the dynamics are submarket to submarket. But there are definitely indications that buyers are ready, willing, and able to transact. For buyers, it's a great time to buy given your ability to negotiate significant savings in some cases and take advantage of the stamp duty holiday, which will save you £15,000 on any purchase price over £500,000. For the American and other foreign buyers, the exchange rate to the pound continues to remain favorable, and there are still plans in place for the government to enact an additional 2% stamp duty increase for any foreign buyers buying as of April. So that's an additional incentive to get your purchases in on this side of that deadline. So I hope this video has given you the latest in regards to the current government shutdown, but recognizing that there are still opportunities in the London property market, and we're definitely able to transact, do viewings, and to get you the home or sell your home if that's what you desire. So don't hesitate to leave me a message below. Let me know what you thought about this video, and if you've got any questions about the London property market, please get in touch. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram, where I have daily posts about the property market. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to check out the other videos on my YouTube channel, where I share great things about the London property market and living in this incredible city. So that's Arinzeh with Onyx Property Team and Keller Williams. Bye for now.